Okay. Oh, whoopsie. I just realized it's Whammy! Hello, I am Alex Mack, part of the Cold crew, and I'm here with the incredibly suave, the debonair, the man himself. That is clearly amongst the most handsome faces in all of the world. It is Coy Jandreau. What up?
How we doing? I'm so excited. We finally got action time. This has been debated. This has been debated, but it's also been a long time in the making. I'm very excited.
Such a long time coming. I as far as I'm concerned, you're one of the best debaters, debate champions ever. You know, seeing you on movie fights. I remember seeing a handful of videos at, Comic-Con where you debated in favor, I think it was the Batman the Animated Series. And I was like, my boy, coming in strong. I love it.
I once had to get a movie fight trick debate where I had to defend Fantastic Four, the Josh Trank movie. And I had to say it was the best comic book movie of all time. And I won. I'm so good at debating that I was able to convince people that that movie was better than, say, Into the Spider-Verse. It's my proudest embarrassed. Like, it hurts that it's on my soul. Like, I know I'm going to hell because I said it, but I'm proud of the accomplishment.
Yeah. Well, you know what? You should be, feeling that sense of accomplishment, not only because you debated so well, but you came back from a 6-mile run, you said? That's
crazy. I got back. I haven't showered yet, so I'm glad this isn't in person. I decided to go house hunting today. I'm looking for a new apartment, but I was like, wait, because of COVID, there's no one showing the houses, so I can look like a madman. So I ran to all the houses.
Oh, definitely not let me know how far it was. Absolutely. Definitely not creepy at all. But you know what? You got to do what you got to do in order to find those houses. Houses and apartments, all that good stuff are hot commodities down in LA, from what I've been told. Anyway, yes, it's pretty intense, very competitive. That's for sure. Speaking of competitive and craziness, though, we have two awesome competitors here. They're going to be debating to the death, to the blood of all things Schmoedown. We have our questions ready to go. We have 3 of them to see them argue today, and they already got their answers picked out, and so we're pretty excited. Now, if you're not familiar with what Schmoedown is Schmoebates really is a Schmoedown-themed debate show where I host every single week on Wednesday evenings, and today's competitors, we have William the Beast Bibbiani standing at a perfect score at 3 wins and 0 losses, going up against Danielle, 4 wins and 0 losses. So it's going to be pretty darn intense. Absolutely. I know you are the manager of one of our competitors here, obviously. But that being said, do you think you can put that, aside and really kind of see these debates completely neutral with that in mind?
If I can defend Josh Trank's Fantastic Four, I can do anything.
Anything.
So yes. I feel like I can completely separate my love for Bibbs, who I love dearly and I'm ever so proud of as a competitor, to remove that love through this next hour to make sure I'm unfair and balanced. And then I'll make sure to tell him, like, Bibbs, you're the best. Oh my God, no matter what happens.
The love is there. The love is there for both these competitors today. All right, let's go ahead and invite them in. Sitting as one of the greatest, Schmoedown competitors of all time. Again, sitting at 3-0, it is William the Beast Bibbiani.
Hello. My hair looks silly underneath my things. Hang on. Sidebar, Coy. Just real fast. You're my manager because I want you biased for me. So please do whatever you can. I appreciate it. That's the whole point of having a manager. That's they'll be biased for you.
Bibbs already won. I shouldn't go.
I'm kidding, of course. Let's have a good, fair game.
Absolutely. And
your winner.
Anyway, it's like on all 3 rounds, mysteriously go to the Bibbs himself. On to our next competitor. Again, sitting undefeated at 4-0, 4 wins, 0 losses. It is Danielle, the C2A co-host of mine, Ramirez. What up, boo-boo?
Hello. I see how it is, Coy. I see how it is.
No big deal.
Hello, everyone else, though.
Yes. Okay. Again, thank you guys so much for coming here. We are closing in on our Tournament of Champions right now. And if you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, awesome. Let me just give you a quick little update. The winner today is going to be going up at Mr. Ben Bateman. So the Tournament of Champions, all the competitors going into this match have won previous matches in the past. But William Beast Bibbiani is going with Danielle. They've already won their previous matches. Either one of these are going to go up against Ben Bateman and to be the champion of champions. So let's see. In our first Tournament of Champions here for Schmoebates. And the winner is going to walk away with the belt. So you guys, no flipping pressure. Not at all. None at all. Okay. No big deal. I see you're like,
I'm trying to resist the urge to say, Bateman!
Yes, I think if we can agree on anything, we both are really, really ready to go up against Ben Bateman, if anything else.
Absolutely. Absolutely. As long
the traitor himself.
The traitor himself.
I don't need Ben to walk away with another belt. I really don't. Not especially, team guy all the way. That's the way it is. All right. So I just want to remind you guys again how we do. We have 3 questions. We're going to be starting with William Beast Bibbiani providing his answer first with his opening statement at 1 minute apiece, followed by Danielle as well as 1 minute apiece. And we're going to do 4 minutes of open debate, followed by 1 minute of closing statements as well to address any questions that Coy and I might have, or you guys from the chat as well. Now, we're going to be doing that for 3 different questions. And for the third and final questions, we're going to be using this coin to determine who is going to go first. If you're not familiar with what it is, do better, guys. It is from the Action Army. So if you are at a certain magnificent tier, you get one of these suckers. So, it's definitely a privilege. Okay. So, y'all, are you ready emotionally? Physically, psychologically?
Physically, yes. Psychologically, yes. Emotionally, no.
Yeah, same.
That's the most real thing I've ever heard in my entire life. That's for sure. Okay, we're going to be starting with Bibbs with 1 minute to give your opening statement for the first question. And Coy, will you please do the honor of reading our first question today?
Question number 1. What is the best team title match in Schmoedown history?
No pressure. There's a lot of great matches to choose from. You have 1 minute. No big deal. No big deal. Let's see it happen. 1 minute starting now.
Okay, when you think of the best team matches, really any team title matches, any title matches at all, you're looking for 3 things. You're looking for great gameplay, you're looking for great moments, and you're looking for a great impact. And on that note, I can think of no better match than, well, let me put it this way. Picture it. Sicily, 2018. The Patriots have won 9 in a row, and they have already defeated above the line once. Well, they're going to play them again, and this time it's going to be an incredibly close match that's going to go up and down the entire way. We're going to have legendary challenges, which actually change the game, and we are going to end with Sam Levine becoming not only the person, along with Drew McQueenie, who finally defeated the hated Patriots, but also becoming the first double-belted champion in Schmoedown history. I can think of no better, more exciting match across the board in all 3 categories that I have outlined. I yield my last second.
All right. 1 second remaining, and it's already been yielded. Perfect. All right. Above the line versus the Patriots. Great pick. And over to you, Danielle. Let us know your selection for best team title match in Schmoedown history. You have 1 minute, boo-boo, starting right now.
All right, y'all. I chose a classic match. I went back to season 4 of the Schmoedown, where things were a little bit different back in those days. I chose Top 10 versus the Patriots Part 2, which is a wonderful prequel to what William Bibbiani has chosen for his match. So inside of this match, you see John Roca defeated. They lost these belts to the Patriots. This is the Patriots defending the belt for the 3rd time, which is something no team up at that point had ever done before. John Roca is going in hungry. Anyone who was around in those days knows how much John Roca was. Anytime John Roca gets into a loss, he wants to go back into it. So there's also really fun game changes inside of this match as well.
And time.
Sorry.
Okay. So it sounds like one is definitely much more recent than the other. Above the Line versus the Patriots versus Top 10 versus the Patriots. But so what I'm hearing is Top 10 is definitely the big one here overall. Coy, what did you think of these match selections overall?
I thought the selections were both fantastic. I definitely think of these as some of the matches. I like that they both are important to ramifications from the Schmoedown while also being fun matches within the Schmoedown. I thought they both described the experience well. And yeah, I great picks.
All right. Well, absolutely. Well, I'm excited to see how this going to come through with the intensities of the matches, obviously storylines, but also how it affected the Schmoedown overall, the fandoms, the future of Schmoedown and how we see it today. So I'm kind of excited to see how that transition. All right. You guys got 4 minutes to get arguing. Start right now.
Okay, my match was not just another in a long line of successful Patriots matches. My match was the end of an era. The Patriots not only lost this match, and it was close, it was a scorcher, but they not only lost this match, but this was the end of them, and within a month or two, the entire den would collapse. So in terms of impact, it's huge. It also had a huge impact on the rules. We had a lot of monumental challenges in this, including when Drew McQueenie wrote down thing instead of the thing, which started, or at the very least solidified the still going debate over what counts as part of a title. How complete does the title have to be? That's already in there. And yeah, again, Sam double belted. That's not a thing before that. Now it's a thing, and it's something that people all aim for, and only a few people have done. And Sam did it first. That day it was huge.
Yeah, so this your match may have been the end of the Patriots line, but it's pretty well to say that this is the match which starts the Patriots onto those. They were already hated and complete heels in the league before this match started.
Oh yeah, miserable people.
This match totally allowed them to be completely on the bad side with it, because not only did they beat Top 10 once, but not only did they take the belts away from Top 10, one of the most loved teams, one of the most loved faction, the Four Horsemen, who you were a part of at that time. But that allowed them to go on to their run as the Patriots. And what's really interesting about this match also is if anyone who is new to the Schmoedown now goes back to the Schmoedown then and compares what these matches were then to what they are now, total game changer. It helps you appreciate where we've come from to where we've been, because there's not only the cussing that's in there, oh my gosh, like there's so much cussing inside of there, but there's also little inconsistencies with major rules that are there today. Like one thing with JTE, it was supposed to be the hold on, I wrote it down, I'm so sorry. Anyways, he wrote something, he spelled it wrong, obviously, but it was very clearly wrong, and it was even if you sounded it out, that spelling would have been wrong. There was also another thing.
Roca did that too when he wrote Tremblay instead of Jacob Tremblay. Yes. Nowadays, that would be a huge controversial thing. No one would have ever let that go. But for me, I don't see that as this fun thing. I don't see this fun thing that makes the match more enjoyable. I see it as, here's this early, slightly broken version of the game, and it was refined by the time we got to the Patriots versus Above the Line 2. The Patriots were still a pretty rough team, and honestly, the one thing this match did was it didn't so much elevate the Patriots so much as it made Top 10 look bad. Like, this was a TKO victory for the Patriots. This was okay. I'm going to fight here because this was a TKO victory for the Patriots. And I interviewed Roca and Nost at the end of this match. Roca literally said he was ashamed of how badly he played in this match.
And that's exactly why he became the player that he is today, because of this match. This match put Roca down into the dirt, and then that allowed him to become the player that he is today, because he was never going to let that happen to him again. And he said it in that interview. That's exactly what he said.
The greatness is in those later matches, not this particular match. This match is so off that there is a point in the speed round where they ask, what is the name of the town in Back to the Future? And all four of these allegedly championship players whiffed it.
That's what's so great about seeing this match come from where it's been to where it is. And I'm going to placate to the judges right here. Think of origin stories. Why do we see how many Spider-Man origin stories do we have? Because origin stories are important. And right here in this match is where the whole game changes also. You get John
Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse ended with everyone pouring into the screen, it would not have been a good movie. That's my point. It's how it begins is fine. How it ends is what matters. And the end of the Patriots was an epic, huge moment that changed the league forever, not just the fate of the top 10.
Time. Woo. Okay, let's all take a breather. You take some, drink some Red Bull.
I have coffee.
Clearly, or coffee or water, whatever is the drink of choice tonight.
I also have water.
I do as well.
There's a lot of, I don't want to say accusations going on, but like you said, you were there on set essentially, Bibbs, obviously you were there in the post interviews for the top 10 versus Patriots match. So you definitely have a little bit of insider knowledge overall. Now, I do see your argument for how necessary is the origin story for this match, in particular for Roka and everything. I am kind of curious to see how both these teams how they're talked about today as well. The same for Above the Line versus Patriots. I hear both of these talked about as all the time, like in Facebook chats and all that good stuff. So I'm kind of curious to see how that really comes through. Coy, what did you guys think of these arguments so far?
So my opinion was they're both arguing very well for their specific thing, which is the point. But I would argue that Danielle is arguing for her match being evolutionary, while Bibbs is arguing for his match being revolutionary. And as a appreciator of the macro of the Schmoedown, I would argue you need evolution to get to revolution, but revolutions are televised.
What came first, the chicken or the egg? That sounds like the egg.
Lizards were laying eggs long before we had chickens. The egg wins.
Okay. No,
something had to be created within the egg to emerge a chicken.
Yeah, the egg wins. Yeah, that's not a thing.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I sound like such a jerk right now. I'm sorry. I was trying to be funny, but it ended up being really hard.
I was just like, wait, huh? I'm getting a lesson here, so I'm excited. Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of love for the Quirky Mercs up in the chat. Let's go Quirky Mercs. What up? Also love for both sides. Coy is so holding back. Like his debate instincts are like, don't say anything. Don't say anything. But also, Paradise is really quick back. Danny, have you got this, Danny? All right. Dean Morgan also is like, in my opinion, Cher Wolves versus Who's the Boss. Also a great match as well. Okay, now, Coy, you are a master arguer, debater.
You can say master debater.
Master debater, for sure. But what would they have to say in order to solidify your vote today?
I would basically need to hear a reason why it's going to be important 5 years from now as well as presently. I would need to reason why it is the thing that makes team matches so interesting is the dynamic within the team as well as the gameplay itself. So I need to hear about like the dynamic that was at play, and then I'd also need to hear about some detail work of what that match was beyond the players, like difficulty in questions and evolution of gameplay, all of those things. And we've heard some of that already. We've had a lot of that already.
Absolutely. Okay. So with that being said, guys, why is it important to talk about these matches, especially your matches, in a few years? What about them is going to be most useful to us as Schmoedown fans and competitors and all that good stuff? All right. So like I mentioned, as previously, we're going to be starting with our closing statement, starting with Bibbs this time. You have 1 minute on the clock starting right now.
This match was evolutionary because before this match, it was the Patriots show at the Schmoedown for multiple years. And with them defeated and out of the way, not only did we finally open up the Schmoedown to finally let some heroes take the stage, we also got the reign of the Shire Wolves afterwards. We couldn't have had that if the Patriots were still in place. It was epic and legendary and significant and important. This was a top to bottom, incredibly tense match, back and forth, up and down. That came down to the speed round. It came down to the last possible question. And the coolest thing about this match is that the Patriots started their reign. They defeated top 10 the first time by guessing Robert Duvall. And they lost their last match as champions by guessing Robert Duvall. They tried to play it up with huge drama and lots of their various petty challenges, which immediately got diffused right away because Above the Line had to gameplay, they had the teamwork, they had the class, and they annihilated them in possibly one of the best.
Classy AF. That's what I heard. Classy, absolutely, are throughout Schmoedown. There's some personality. Woo! All right. So Danielle, you two have 1 minute on the clock to solidify everyone in your favor to vote in favor of you today. You also have 1 minute on the clock, starting now.
Well, you wouldn't have any of that importance if it wasn't for something like this almost tragic type of a game. It was still entertaining to watch because this was early in the Schmoedown, and so the Patriots won by a TKO, which really no one thought would happen because everyone thought that top 10 was going to come back for it, and they didn't. And that truly is, I really want to pinpoint that this is truly an origin story for John Roca as well, because it really helped him become the player that he wants to become. It allowed us to look at these matches and look at the gameplay and turn it into something bigger. And that's why we got the match like we got that with Above the Line and the Patriots. Once we got to that point, because people looked at this time in the Schmoedown and allowed us to see that we can be bigger, we can be better, and it changed the entire game. I yield. Sorry.
All right, perfect. Didn't know you came to a dance-off, did y'all?
Yes.
Oh, what up? Spirit fingers. All right, okay, so... So we just heard their closing statements, and now, guys, I am going to advise you guys you can feel free to go vote. Let us know your opinion in favor of who should win this first debate. You can do so on Twitter, and I'm just going to go ahead and pull up the thing right here. It's also in the description box. It's going to be put in the chat here in a hot minute, like right there. Thank you so much, Jake.
Real fast, on Twitter, I just looked at it. It says Patriots versus top 10. We should probably clarify it's Patriots versus top 10 too.
Yes, thank you so much for
those are very different matches.
Very different matches. Good to know. Yes, Jake, if you can please edit that would be wonderful. That would be very awesome. Please do that. And so Coy and I, as awesome as we are, Coy infinitely so, obviously. But we are not the ones that are going to determine who's going to walk away the winner is today. It is you guys, the viewers, the voters. You guys going to walk away that are going to be walking away telling these two guys who has bragging rights, who's going to go up against Ben Bateman here pretty soon, and who's going to have the option of getting a belt. So let's see it happen. Okay, so we are going to be going on to our second question. All right. And
I'm excited.
We're going to be starting with Danielle this time around. Danielle, are you ready, boo-boo?
Yes.
All right. Okay. Coy, please do the honor.
Question number 2. What recent match could inspire the next big Schmoedown rivalry?
And I do want to clarify, when I typed recent, I did specify with my competitors, I was referring to this season so far. So, all right. So, Coy, I mean, you're a manager. I'm sure you've seen a bunch of, obviously really amazing managers. So I'm excited to see your input for this one as well. All right. Are you ready, Danielle?
Yes.
All right. You have 1 minute on the clock, starting now.
Okay, so my pick might be a little bit on the controversial side, but I went with it, and I believe that Ben Bateman and Dan Murrell can be one of the biggest Schmoedown rivalries to happen in this entire game. We've seen them come close together in the Five Horsemen. We've seen them work well as a faction. We know that they get along just great, but then we also saw that match in Atlanta, and we all know how that match went down. And imagine if later on down the line, we get this really cool storyline, big possible shout out Team Action reunion. And imagine if that happens and a Team Action versus the Founding Fathers rematch. That would be so great. But yes, I do believe that Ben Bateman and Dan Murrell can possibly have the biggest Schmoedown rivalry in this whole league, because they're two powerhouses in the entire game. Did you say time? I'm so sorry. Oh, no, we all know that they're big powerhouses. Dan Murrell is number 1. Ben Bateman, arguably number 2. It would be...
Sorry. Alarm. Sorry. All right. Okay, so great pick. 2 champions, being champions, championship behavior, obviously. Okay, and over to you, Bibbs. Start now.
Oh, okay. I was about to say. I was like, huh? Okay. Yeah. Okay. So rivalries. I've been in a rivalry at the Schmoedown for a long time. They are exhausting, but they are fun. And for me, I'm more interested in not just seeing like two chess pieces on the board get shuffled around next to each other. I want to see a whole new game. I want to see players who have not competed on this level. I want to see players who have the capacity to become the next legend. And for me, the match that I think has a chance to do this is the Lord of the Rings exhibition match, which if you haven't seen was legendary, and it ended up going into, I think, like a dozen rounds of overtime between Robert the Spider Parker and Alex the Demon Damon. This was an opportunity for Damon to show he could hold with Robert Parker in Inner Geekdom. And if Robert Parker knows this much about Lord of the Rings, he's going to be able to follow Alex Damon into the Star Wars tournament. This is a multi-division rivalry between a guy with a hell of a lot of personality and a guy with a huge record that is just destined to be toppled by the new hotness, Robert Parker. It's going to be
time. The new hotness. Can we get that on a sticker for my car?
He can use that.
Whew, yes. Coy, my dude. I got to hear it. What do you think of these options?
Both fantastic options. I really like that they're coming from different perspectives. I like one of these is coming from a friends turned rivals perspective, as is great comic book lore. And the other one is coming from will soon be rivals out of the strength of them individually, which is great comic book lore. So I like the fact that they're both completely identifiable. You understood where both competitors' arguments were coming from, but the fact that you would never put these two side by side, like these are very different types of rivalries, which makes this very exciting, which is part of what the Schmoedown's glory is. There's so many different types of nuanced drama. So I completely agree with Danielle in the fact that there is an undercurrent of bubbling. And I completely agree with Bibbs that when something goes that long, that intensely, and they're just getting started, it's a testament to where things could go. So both fantastic picks and fantastically argued, in my opinion.
Absolutely. All I'm hearing is that, all these competitors are actually just superheroes and supervillains. That's all everyone needs to know. That's all we need to know, guys. I mean, let's be honest. And also, obviously, Ben Bateman is a supervillain. So let's just let that be the big takeaway tonight. Okay. So, Robert is also present. He wants to say, did he say the new hotness?
I did, although I spelled it correctly. There we go. And yes, Robert Parker can use that. He is the new hotness.
Just like, wait, that's going to be his new nickname. Just saying. Just wait,
okay.
If we get it going, let's make it happen, guys. Okay, so we have 4 minutes on the clock to really kind of see you guys hash it out. These are really great picks, so excited to get it going. You guys got 4 minutes starting right now.
I'm so excited to see what Robert Parker is going to do right now, because he whipped himself out right there on a live match to call attention to his name and say, I am here and I am here to destroy. He was an early pick in the draft. No one knew who he was. He has already proved himself with a perfect game. He is knocking out people left and right. He has defeated Alex Damon, which only like one other person can ever claim to have done. And Alex Damon is actually getting more involved in the drama. We've seen him do sketches with Molly Damon now. So we know that he is in it. He's in it to win it. He's in the Inner Geekdom, so he's going to be playing more. And right now, him and Robert Parker are on a collision course in the Schmoedown tournament, and I cannot wait to see how they're going to finally collide, and if they're going to collide in that tournament later on in Star Wars.
Because we don't know for sure if it could happen. There's still a lot of hype around Ben Goddard. You can't just put Ben Goddard aside on this.
I'm not putting him down, but what I do know is that there are only so many top tier.
Robert Parker would still have to get through someone that's there. Whereas Ben Bateman and Dan Merle, we know that they can already compete at the extremest of highest of levels. That's not putting Alex Damon down, because we all know that he's the champion and all of that good stuff. But we don't know extremely for sure how well Robert Parker can do it. I'm so sorry to say that about you, Parker. But we've seen this would just be an epic storyline, because it would be so much fun to see. And that they would take it seriously behind it. It wouldn't even just be for the storyline's sake. It would be something that they both would completely take seriously, that we could just benefit from that as well, because that they want to go back against each other again. And it would be so, and they work so well behind the camera. We've seen Dan improve so much in front of the camera with his character work.
That's very true.
Imagine him going against a reborn heel Ben Bateman. holy moly.
I don't need to imagine it. I've
behind.
seen the Reborn heel. I've seen the Reborn heel, Ben Bateman. I've seen Dan Murrell with rivalries. I have seen these guys before. I'm not saying I don't. I respect the hell out of them as competitors. They're top tier competitors. They've both beaten me in matches. I respect them, but I'm not super excited to see just, who's going to betray Ben Bateman this time? Or, who's going to break up Dan Murrell's faction this time? I'm actually not super excited about that because it's kind of been done. I also am concerned that if this was a rivalry that they were actually going to work with, set up, allow to build, I'm pretty sure that in the months that followed that match, we would have seen more seeds of that rivalry take hold rather than Bateman go, yeah, Dan Murrell's the best. He beat me. I mean, like, it was a close match.
But it's hard to say that about this season also. And that's the other thing about this question as well, because it's about this season. So we haven't really been able to see much of a plethora of things for this season. So to say that about now, he can't do that. But
I disagree with that because although we haven't seen the games, Ben Bateman has his own official Schmoedown show. We see him practically every week talking about himself and his faction, and all the other stuff that happens too, but mostly those other two things. So I'm pretty sure that if he wanted to lay the seeds of a rivalry with Dan Murrell, we would have seen that by now. And now, if they're doing it now, it really isn't going to.
The question isn't about this year either. It's about in a recent match, but the next big Schmoedown rivalry, we don't know when we can get back into the studio matches and do anything like that. So the next biggest for with the player pool that we have, when you think of biggest, that's going to be a huge impact because sure, it's been done, but what is it? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And I would still love to see that. As a fan who's been watching since season 2, I would still love to go and see that. Am I going to go and pay for 11?
I'm not convinced, but here's the deal. I'm not convinced that Ben can take Dan because what it boiled down to was Dan outplayed him in strategy, and it boiled down to who knew the most, and it was Dan. It was a close call, but it was a decisive victory.
Also, that's matches. And when you think about rivalries and think about the storylines and the storyline behind it would be amazing.
That is done, and we are timed.
This is so much fun. Thank you.
We're having a blast.
I was picturing a stenographer in a courtroom, like.
It's just so much fun. I genuinely love watching you guys because you both are clearly so great at what at arguing in general. So this is just really great fun. Okay, so
I know Bibbs is worth much more than yours. You're doing exceptionally against the beast himself.
Now something I didn't really hear Bibbs really talk about, is that, it is an exhibition match. So obviously being an exhibition match, there's not really much story or anything that could be involved. So I'd love to see how that kind of, like you said, the intensity and everything of that match, as amazing as it was, it can't technically transfer over to points or anything like that, or, or anything along those lines to a regular match. Now over to, Ben versus Murrell. This is not the first time they've played a few times prior. So this is not a super new rivalry. So I'm kind of excited for you to tell us how it can be a real fresh, real exciting, new, Schmoedown rivalry for us and, new fans as well and older fans, us included. Okay. So Coy, what are you thinking so far? What do they need to do for you? Get you for those votes.
I felt like Bibbs played defense and offense on that one. He was able to take a couple things Danielle said and kind of shape them into this is why that's not going on there. But I also feel like Danielle was able to get more abstract. She was able to leave her thoughts, find new thoughts. She was able to party. She was able to handle the
polish it up. Yeah.
Bibbs. So they both had strengths there. Whereas Bibbs was playing he was fencing, she was broadswording. So if they could both find a way to...
Crap, I saw Rob Roy. I know how this ends.
It's just a flesh move. But if they can take the strengths of the other and kind of change up their tactics, because I feel like both their 1 minute and their 4 minute was very similar in the form they went at the debate. So I would love to see each of them try to take the other tactic.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Abstract and not as abstract. Absolutely. Let's see how that's going to play out. You guys have 1 minutes to make your closing statements and also address some of the questions and statements that Coy and I have made as well. And real quickly, we got a lot of motivation in the chat as well. The closer, haven't seen you before in the chat before so much. Whoa, Dan did not out-strategize him. Dan definitely out-knowledged him, but Ben pulled out Tyler Perry. Okay.
Yeah, and then Dan out-strategized Tyler Perry by betting nothing. So he out-strategized the out-strategizing. It was over.
Yes, and I was like, ooh, a little backstage burn. Ooh, yeah.
Oh, they know I love them.
But also, this is actually I would have picked Zipper versus Stacy. Oh my gosh, that was
Very
like
tempted.
that was honestly so far it's been my not manager. So that's my match, personal favorite match of the year. So, but that's a personal favorite one. All right, so we are going to be going into our closing statement, guys. You guys have 1 minute to really sell us on your picks today, and we're going to be starting with you, Danielle. Are you ready, Boo Boo?
Yes.
Starting right now.
Okay, so how can it be fresh? It cannot be fresh. I get that. I understand that as a fan. But also, from my point, to really pin it down, I'm a fan. I've been a fan of this show for a very long time. And I would love just personally to go ahead and see those two calibers of players take a different storyline from what it's been. Can you argue that it's the same storyline? Yes, you absolutely can. But does it mean that it's not fun and that it wouldn't be important and that it wouldn't be something extremely hype that the fans would want to see? Absolutely. And that's what it's going to be. It's going to be something that the fans will for sure want to see. Are we going to enjoy an Alex Damon versus Robert Parker rivalry? Yes, we will. Yes, we will. If we find out how far each of these players can go in their divisions. We know these players. We know who they are. We trust them. We know that they can carry a story. And as a fan, I would still truly love to see this rivalry.
Time, baby, bop. All right. Okay. So it's getting emotional with that statement. What do I want to see it? I want it all. That's what I want. Yeah. All right. And Bibbs, you also have 1 minute to really sell us on your idea as well. Starting right now.
Bottom line is this. Dan Murrell and Ben Bateman have made their legends, and they've also had their storylines. And if all of a sudden Ben turns on Dan, well, that kind of nullifies like a year's worth of development where he actually became like a good guy and can actually join up with Dan. So I don't see them reneging on that anytime soon. What I do see, however, is someone who is young, fresh, and hungry with a very strong character already, Robert Parker, deciding to pick a fight with a champion. And yeah, okay, they're both working their way up IG, but they are both hardworking Schmoedown competitors. They're going to be in this for a while. Picking a fight with a champ who has never had a rivalry before is a way to make a name. It is a way to start new storylines rather than just shuffle around storylines we already had. Yeah, it was an exhibition match, but the exhibition match was so epic. The exhibition match became a story match. It was such a significant match that I don't think we can ignore that. I don't think we should write it off as an exhibition match. I think we should be focusing on who has something to prove, who has a chance to change the Schmoedown for the future.
And time.
I was so mad when you picked Dan versus Ben before I did. By the way, I just want to make this abundantly clear. It is hard to debate this.
Sorry, what were you saying?
The exact thing I hope they would. Danielle did the fencing because she was more delicate in her jabs while staying within the fan perspective. And Bibbs literally did the broadsword. So they swapped by going like, everything she just said and more. I'm going to figure it out in a minute. So they both succeeded in taking my note. I want to give that accolade right there.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. So these are, I mean, they're both really great arguments overall. And I thank you so much for addressing our statements as well. Now, I do think you're right, Bibbs, absolutely, in terms of, how amazing that exhibition match. I would have loved to see.
It was incredible.
It was so good. Like, I casually love Lord of the Rings, but I've never read the books or anything. And I don't know all the character names and, places and all that. But I was just watching it and I was like, I kind of want to now. So it's kind of crazy how that kind of translates. Coy, specifically, were there any kind of holes in their arguments? Did you feel like you kind of picked up at, or do you think there was anything that they might have missed out in arguing, honestly?
I would have liked to have heard more about So Danielle was coming from a fan perspective as to why that rivalry would be interesting. But it was kind of that was why it was interesting. It was kind of like, it's interesting because it's interesting. I would have loved to have heard some details about ways they could have cut each other down and like more about the rivalry format personally. Whereas Bibbs, I would have liked to have heard how he would have addressed what Danielle brought up about making it a mainstream match and what story elements, like if Bibbs had given me an example of a story element that could be done in quarantine. So they both, like for me, they only had one hole each. For me, it was Danielle didn't address the interestingness except for that it was interesting. And Bibbs didn't address the jab, like the defense of what storyline could have been developed. And then I would have gotten a more complete picture of Danielle's because I could have pictured the the actual rivalry instead of just like, look at these two guys go to the Schmoedown disliking each other. And with Bibbs, I could have seen like the story play out in my mind, and both would have made their arguments a little tighter if I were to be the arguer.
Absolutely, yeah.
Coy is the best of us.
Yes.
Coy is just like. Well, Coy is just like low-key sad he's not actually debating today. He's like, gosh darn it.
Once in a debate, I think you did. I think we had a debate once and you like murderized me. It was like a TV thing.
I looked at if I had no soul, I'd be the most successful lawyer in the game. Instead, I do smoke.
I feel like I've heard you say that at some point. I feel like that's definitely truth, which is and also very unlawyerly of you.
And I would like to take a quick moment, and I know any competitor who plays on the show feels the need to say this at least once. We're debating right now. I love every single one of these. I would give. I know I've had to talk some smack about like Ben or Dan just now, but like if they needed a kidney, I'd be there for them. So like this is just debate.
Thank you for saying that, because I was going to say the exact same thing. Like this is no hate to anyone at all. We're just playing a game over here.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for clarifying. I was going to dive into that in here in a minute, but you are absolutely right. This is exclusively for these debates purposes. But also, guys, speaking of exclusively for these debates, I want you guys to make your votes exclusively on these arguments, not based off of I'm like the biggest fan of the Quirky Mercs, therefore I'm going to vote in favor of Bibbs, or also vice versa. With like Chill to Action is the best after show of all time. So I'm going to vote in favor of Danny.
And only the arguments made during the time. You can't use the thing where I said I wish I could have picked Ben and Dan.
That's true. Exactly. Can't hold that against them. Cannot hold that against them. So go over to Twitter, make your votes known. Let us know who's going to walk away. She's going to be going against Ben Bateman here pretty soon. So we'll see. Okay. All right. So we're going to be going into our third and final question with our opening statements. If I can find my my coiny. There you are, coin thingamajig. Yes, so if you're not familiar with what this is, like I mentioned earlier, it is a team action coin that says boom, but also little AMA love at the back, 5th anniversary for the AMA, for the Action Army. So we try. They're pretty cool people over there, Ben and Drew are. Yeah. Drew definitely a lot cooler than the other one.
Oh,
but then the other.
And I thought I threw shade.
Shade City. Okay. All right. So we did chat when we were chatting before we started recording. We did mention that Bibbs is going to take AMA, the 5th anniversary side, and Danielle is going to be taking the Boom Chakalaka side. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and make the flip. And it is the 5th AMA. All right. So, Bibbs, would you like to go first or defer?
I'll defer.
You like to defer? Okay. Yeah. So, Danielle, you are going to start with our opening statement for our third and final question. And Coy, can you please read the question as well, our last question of the evening?
Question number 3. What Schmoedown personality would host the best 4th of July barbecue?
Food. That's all I need. I just want
the best.
A whole lot of food. So that better be taken into consideration when they made their picks. Abso-flippin'-lutely.
Let's go into this. We specified the 2020 season when we said recently. I would like to say I would argue this should be for not 2020 4th of July. Because that consists of all of us and our houses sad.
Yes, very true. Do want to specify if things were a little less cray-cray, essentially.
Yeah, let's say we're celebrating our independence from insanity. Let's broad.
Exactly. And I really just want
4th of July party, and none of us have aged.
Please.
Exactly.
Please.
Oh man, that's
Can I de-age? That would be great, actually. Can I be like 30 again?
Yo, can we make that happen?
Yeah, I want to catch Benjamin Button now and not when I was born with it.
That just what? Okay, we're going to be starting off with the opening statement from you, Danielle. You have 1 minute to make your opening statement and let us know the best host of a 4th of July barbecue. Starting right now.
That's right. So barbecue, food. Exactly, Alex. There's only one person who I could think of whenever I think of food / Schmoedown, and that's John Kaiser. We're hanging out at Kaiser's place. We're going over for barbecue. He's making hamburgers, getting that grill ready. I like to imagine a John Kaiser barbecue as like a supplied BYOB party. You can bring your own drinks, however many you want, but he's also going to make sure to take care of you. So he's going to be accommodating for any person that's going to be there. You're going to be able to jam out to some really awesome music that's going to be going on. Y'all know you're going to rock out. Everyone's going to have a good time. It's not going to get too crazy. It's going to get fun. It's going to get rowdy. And you get to hang out with Piggy Smalls. And that's already a bonus point right there. And so I feel like John Kaiser is going to be someone who is going to be a gracious host, going to be a fun host, and that's going to allow you to have a lot of fun. And it's going to be super chill in a way that's just going to be
time. Kaiser and Piggy Smalls. I'm not going to lie. That's a pretty solid pick, I have to say. All right. So over to you, Bibbs. You two have 1 minute on the clock to let us know what Schmoedown personality would make the best 4th of July host.
Who would make
starting now?
Okay.
Sorry.
Who would make the best 4th of July host? Josh McCouga. Because wild berries!
What's that?
That's not. I can't. This is.
And no, he's drinking. Oh, he's going for it.
Oh.
I yield my time.
I can't.
Damn it, Bibbs. Between the Muppets and this.
Oh man.
What's happening?
Can I without bias aside say that was art?
I think that might be the best answer in Schmoebates history.
Yes. I want to see a gif of that entire interaction.
Is that? I gotta know. Is that a Corona?
It is.
Is it Corona? It's like adding the lime juice. I was like, what? Oh, okay.
Because you can have any beer you want as long as it's a Corona.
Exactly. I'm more of a Modelo fan myself. I'm not gonna lie, but they're like tomato. They're pretty similar. Okay, so you guys got 4 minutes to make your arguments. Is it gonna be McCouga or is it gonna be Kaiser and Piggy Smalls? Let's hear it, guys. Starting now.
I knew you were gonna come in with that heated argument. That's the only thing he's gonna do. Like, if we all knew that he was gonna come in here with this argument, I'm still gonna try to argue just a tiny bit against this because that's what you're gonna get. Look at this type of party. This is the type of party you want to hang out with. Interact.
What? You see Josh McCouga interact? He flossed with the belt. All kinds of crazy stuff is going to happen at the Josh McCouga barbecue. Anything is possible. He's going to steal the pig. All right? He's going to steal Piggy's ball. Yeah. He's going to bring it to the barbecue. He'll be fine. But and the thing is, Josh McCouga hosts a show about food. He knows food. He loves food. He loves food more than I love certain members of my own family. Like, he is going to make the best barbecue. Because let me tell you something. Kaiser, I'm not buying him as being accommodating. I've seen the way he trains. He can have fun at an amusement park. That was an extended storyline in which we saw Kaiser not having fun at an amusement park. Also, I was there at the Schmoedown Spectacular this year. Yeah, he had burgers. I'm pretty sure he went to McDonald's. Those are not great burgers. I'm not.
But we weren't at a barbecue. We weren't hanging out at a 4th of July barbecue.
Well,
Where everyone's chilling, having a good time.
It's responsibility to bring better better burgers than McDonald's. Jack in the Box is right there. Carl's Jr. is right there. We live in LA.
That's what the argument is that he could have got a different brand of burgers.
Done. Yeah, it shows the level of quality you can expect from a Kaiser barbecue. His name is Kaiser, and we can't even expect a good meal.
Oh, yes, we can. We know that Kaiser can pull off something at least. We can hope for the best from Kaiser. He might be able to flip a few burgers over a grill. At least that.
Party in the world.
Put a few hot dogs on there. We know Kaiser can do that.
They will be BYOB. There will be HYOB. Here's your own beer. There will be all kinds of beers that everyone can enjoy because you don't want to watch fireworks sober. Why? Because they're kind of boring after a minute. So you're going to want to get a lot of booze. You're going to want to get a lot of food. You're going to want to hang out at a beach, couples sneaking off into the bushes to bake out. It's going to be the most absolutely fun time ever. And at the end of it all, not only will Josh McCouga be so drunk he doesn't even know what faction he's in anymore, he will eat something from history. And it will be great. And we'll all be part of his TV show, and it'll be the best party.
Yeah, this sounds like a huge shebang. And I'm going to argue for the other side of it. Yeah, we can have a good time, but does it have to be that big? Some of us are a little bit of introverts. So maybe we don't have to hang out. Your party can be good for someone who likes to hang out with all of those big crowds. My party is going to be cool that likes a decent amount of people that has some good times there. So you can just rock out, jam out. Everyone's just going to have a blast where they're at. Just in a chill, fun situation. Like the best doesn't have to be a blowout party.
You told me a chill, fun situation was bad, so I switched tactics.
Okay, I'm going to pause for a hot second. I'm going to pause the clock for a hot second. When I say, okay, it sounds like both these parties, I would love to attend. They just sound like a fun ass time. But I also want to hear not only about the food, I want to hear about some activities. What is going on? Are there games? Is there a pool? I want to know what's going on around us. How are we going to be interacting? Are we going to play like Cinephile in the background or something? Are we going to be watching matches in the background? So I want to know a little extra details about what's going on.
I already said we're going to be at the beach. So there's going to be volleyball. There's going to be bonfires. There are going to be like people flipping each other in the air with those big cloth things. What do you call them? Blankets. They're going to be blankets like they have, like the kids have these days. So
I'm sure Kaiser has like a cornhole game in his backyard that all of us can chill and hang out and play with. There's going to be a fire pit that's right there. We're going to roast some marshmallows. We're going to drink some beer.
People are going to get stuck on a sea urchin, and it's going to be a whole thing. Like, it's going to be the most amazing barbecue you have ever had in your life. And I already said at the end, there's going to be fireworks, and we'll all be drunk enough to enjoy them.
We got 30 seconds. We got 30 seconds, dude.
I yield.
Oh. Man, I'm just waiting for someone to tell me it's okay to play Flippy Cup. You
can always play.
I demand Flippy Cup. I
don't know what it is, but I'm sure it's great.
It's like where you take like a plastic cup essentially after you drink the however much beer or cocktail mixture is in there. You flip it over the table and it's supposed to land on the table a certain way. So it gets really competitive when you're on teams. It's like there's an obstacle course, the whole thing. It's the whole thing. All right, in the chat, please tell me if you guys know what Flippy or Flip the Cup is. Yeah. I grew up growing with Midwest. That's what we call it.
I'm a King's Cup man myself. I don't know if you guys know King's Cup with the cards. You got a King's Cup.
Yes.
Twos for you, threes for me, fours for floor, all that jazz. That's my
yes.
Mm-hmm.
I like being quiet and watching movies, but it's not my party. It's Josh's.
Also
fair.
A great time.
Yes.
That sounds like the best day ever, honestly.
Sometimes I get drunk and talk about comics on the internet. Everybody's got their own parties.
And yes, exactly. Yes, absolutely. All of them sound like great times. Overall, Coy, you're a cook, right? You love cooking. You like grilling. Yeah, what's your favorite thing to make? What's your go-to thing on the grill?
My go-to for quick and easy is like a nice quesadilla. Like a few toppings. You can make a good salsa. You can like really be versatile with very few items. So a quesadilla is a go-to. I like a good pizza pocket and like a panini press because you can make like a variety of sauces and ingredients, and you can kind of make anything, and you can then dip that in soups. So you've got like a literal infinite bouquet of deliciousness. I am a fan of grilling, so I like grilling corn with various accoutrements, some chicken. I like to grill grilled peppers with, you cut the top off and you put ingredients inside, some like cheese and some toppings. So you make like a pizza pepper and it's grilled, so it's got a smokiness to it. I like making summery foods.
Can we go to Coy barbecue instead?
Coy, can you just make us food and like bring it to me, because I don't.
I'm just like, oh.
That sounds amazing, Coy.
I'm a big party person, like, so I'm a big.
You
like,
know,
I'm that. So I need to make sure that I keep up my end of the bargain. Like, if I attend, I got to be ready to rock the grill or the booze or the flip cup or the King's Cup or the shots. I got to be ready for all.
I have a great manager. Can we just say that right now? He's.
I think no one's arguing that. Did you guys like playing like drinking games or anything all that much? Are you guys big drinking game people?
In college, but I don't really. Aside, I don't really drink that much anymore.
Are you going to drink the rest of that beer? And more importantly,
it'd be weird to let it go to waste, I guess.
I mean, he should. I would prefer he does as Bostonian.
Well, I mean, like, listen, the Schmoebate isn't over, so who knows?
That's true. That is incredibly true. Danielle, are you big into drinking games?
Not necessarily. Beer pong was a big thing, so that was always something that was going on. And then that King's card game there, the King's game that Coy was talking about. I know for sure playing that back in the day. But
Well, if there's anything we can all bond over, it's just finding extra reasons to competitively get drunk. That's the way it goes. Absolutely. All right. So we're going to be going into our closing statements. Obviously the coin was in Bibbs' favor. So we're going to be sticking to Danielle's going into your closing statement. You have 1 minute on the clock to really solidify Kaiser being the best host for the 4th of July barbecue. All right. You have 1 minute on the clock. You can yield however much time you want. Considering how it's gone so far, starting right now.
We all know that Kaiser comes off as a very tough type of personality in a sort of way that makes it seem like he wouldn't be a gracious host. But I think if you really deep down look at some of the other things that he does, you can see that John Kaiser does seem like a pretty good person that would be gracious to any guest that is in his home. And like I said before, this is going to be more of a chill type of party. It's not going to be anything that's going to be crazy riot or nothing too crazy is going to happen, but you're still going to have fun stories and you're still going to have good times with people. You're going to get plenty of food. You're going to get a really good jam session in there. That I feel like I didn't talk about the music selection enough, because that's why I'm going to John's party, because I want to go jam out. So that feels like something that would be fun. And you know what? I do like to hang out with pigs. They're very nice. That come out so weird, but it would be fun to see this like backyard type of barbecue sort of thing, and nowhere crazy, and just watching the fireworks, chilling in the lawn chair.
You're not kidding. Kaiser's music selection is always on point, and I'm judging that almost exclusively off of his little like radio hour things he's done in the past. Okay, so we are going to be going over to you, Bibbs. You also have 1 minute to do whatever the heck you want with, to really sell us on Kuga being best host for the 4th of July barbecue, starting now. We're just gonna hang out.
That's a fair point, actually.
We're just gonna hang out, no pressure. We're just gonna keep going. All right.
How am I doing on time?
30 seconds. Man, guys, no pressure. Guys, I'm kind of scared right now. 15 seconds.
I feel like we should have been chanting "Chug it" this entire time.
Chug it, chug it, chug it.
Wild berries.
Gosh darn it.
Okay. This round is over. How can you compete against Josh? Same thing with the other question. I saw it.
Can I say that the Makuta argument must have felt like to Danielle how Danielle's argument for Merle and Bateman, like when you see the answer and you're like, but oh no. Like I'm wondering if your round 2 and 3 kind of swap for the oh no.
Whenever I saw the Makuga come up, the first name that popped into my brain was actually Mark Ellis. But then, yeah, we all know that Mark doesn't really like to be in big parties and stuff like that, so he might not be the best.
You know who I actually almost picked was Chris Jericho. But then I realized I didn't know enough about Chris Jericho to know like what his kind of parties would be like, because I don't really follow wrestling that much. And I tried to do some research, and then I was like, Josh.
What about Kevin Smith?
That was my backup. Like if she got to Makuga before I did, that was gonna be my
that would have been so much fun.
You know what would have been super interesting is if you said Makuga and Danielle decided to go with Elliot Dewberry.
Oh my God! If they have rival
can
parties,
you imagine?
That would have been brutal.
Alex!
The Wildberries having rival parties is the best 80s movie I've never seen.
Right? That's a rivalry.
Just give me the money, guys. I just come up with nonstop amazing bankable ideas.
God, why aren't you on Schmoebates? I mean, you know what I mean.
I want to say
how many times we've asked.
We've had all of our arguments presented. My argument from the beginning, because I was so traumatized by the idea, was I would never go to a barbecue where a pig was present. I've done
doesn't that feel rude? That feels rude to the pig.
To a barbecue where there was a pig, and I was just so like, why would we do this to us or to him? It's like some weird. It's like feeding a chicken eggs. You're like cannibalism through different generations. It just seems wrong.
It's not cool, is what it is.
No,
it's just so.
What's it? One of my
unless it's an evil pig. It could be an evil pig. Yeah, it could be Hannah Pig Lecter.
I would say I have a
Hannibal Lecter. Hannibal Lecter was right.
How that didn't go. I would have gone Peter Porker because it's canon, but Hannibal Lecter right there.
Hannibal Lecter.
Wow, I feel like a total jerk now.
No, you were great. I actually didn't know. Here's the deal. Kaiser is one of those people in the Schmoedown. I've met him a few times. He's a wonderful man, but I've never really had an opportunity to hang out with him. And based on what y'all are telling me about who he is, what he's like, I didn't even really know he had a pig. Like, I really want to hang out with Kaiser now. He sounds really, really awesome. So you sold me on Kaiser as a friend and as a party host. Don't get me wrong. And I'll be perfectly frank. Josh Makuga, if it's a kind of party I'm describing the kind of party I think other people would like. I would show up to that party, and I would be very polite, and I would say hi to everybody, and I'd hang around for about half an hour, and then I would go, because I don't do well when people around me are really drunk, because I don't really get drunk. Like, this is the most beer I've had in a long, long time. So, yeah, it's not my scene. So, yeah. So honestly, I'd rather go to your party.
That was where the structure of the argument kind of came from, because that was immediately what I thought of, and obviously that's one of like someone's first immediate answer, because we all know the Schmoedown. We all know Josh is the party of the Schmoedown. So then for my argument's sake, I had to come at it with in that sort of way to like downsize that.
I've been there. Every once in a while, you can totally sway people, though. You can totally like change their minds about everything.
I'm not gonna lie, though.
And I would go to Josh's party 100% also, but I would definitely, I shouldn't be at a party like Josh.
I would go to Josh's party, and then I would leave and end up at Kaiser's party.
Yes,
that's what exactly I would. That sounds way more my scene.
That's absolutely fair. I also feel like Coy might have solidified an argument for me if I was doing it. If I were debating, I'd be like, Coy, obviously the best person to host a barbecue. I mean, after those food descriptions, I was like, oh.
I didn't want to pander to one of them. I thought that would be tough.
I did make hot pockets and loaded quesadillas. Oh, stop.
We had a Quirky Mercs pizza party before the world shut down. There will be more.
Nice. It was nice.
Went to, during my birthday, and I had a little birthday party way back in, I think it was like right after college, and I had a grilled cheese party. So I had like all a bunch of fancy grilled cheeses. I mean, different types of cheeses and toppings. I would have sun-dried tomatoes and pickles and fancy mustards and all that good stuff. And you can pick your bread, you can pick your cheese. It was the whole thing. I felt very fancy.
Can we ask them our epic grilled cheese debate question?
Oh God, I can't. Lady, you're wrong. Okay, I'm not going to go into that.
No, look, it's fine. It tastes fine. I tried it. It tastes fine. Y'all, when you make a grilled cheese sandwich, do you put mayo on the outside?
No, you don't put mayo on it at all. You put butter.
You put butter on the outside. I don't care about the inside. That's nonsense.
You put butter on the outside and you sprinkle a little garlic salt on the outside.
I like to use mayo on the outside instead of butter because it has like it's less greasy, at least from my personal experience. Also has like a lower burn rate. So it creates like a nice.
That's why you always make your grilled cheese like at a really low burn, and it takes longer, but you'll get more even. You don't have to worry about it.
It tastes the same. It has like it's delicious.
You just said you cared about texture. The texture matters more if you do it slow. You'll get it more consistent.
I say that, and that's why I'm a huge weird textured person. So, and that's why mayo is infinitely better in my opinion.
I've tried mayo. I've never been impressed by it. I love mayo in general. I just never been impressed by it on grilled cheese.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah. I can respect that. Absolutely. It's okay to be wrong, but whatever.
I feel validated.
Okay.
You all have no idea how much I get crap for going against this statement.
No,
are you anti-mayo or are you pro-mayo?
I am anti-mayo.
Thank you.
I'm anti-mayo.
Coy, remember her next time there's a draft. She's great.
She doesn't like mayo. She made a list.
Yes.
Okay, guys, I do want to let you guys know. I'm not going to put down it's been 10 minutes or anything. Usually, I have you guys wait 10 minutes to really get the chance to vote. You can vote right there on Twitter. There's a bunch of links in the descriptions and all that good stuff. So go do that now. I'm going to give you guys have 5 minutes remaining to go over to Twitter and let us know who should walk away with bragging rights today and who is going to be going up against Ben Bateman here pretty soon. Yes, I cannot wait. It's going to be amazing. But also, guys, let us know what you think, please, for the love of God. We would really love it. You want to know? We want to know. We want to know. Just real quickly, just want to jump to the chat. Cam Chef says, I love hot mayo. It's a Japan thing. Oh, I can see that. I
can't really handle spicy foods. Like the tiniest bit of spice just makes, because there's like 2 different kinds of spice. There's heat and there's pain. And for me, the pain sensor is just way too high. So I almost never have fun with spice.
I can see that. Absolutely. Yeah. I'm Thai, so I feel like I kind of grew up with like a lot of spiciness and like in my food naturally, but I don't like the flavor of like jalapeno. It's not the heat, it's just the flavor of it.
Yeah, I'm with you on that too.
Jalapenos always give me heartburn.
Well, they do. Yeah, they would.
Yeah.
They're hot.
I enjoy spicy foods very much. I can eat spicy foods. I can eat peppers, but for whatever reason, jalapenos specifically always, no matter what, give me heartburn.
Yeah.
Danielle now has 2 points towards the draft because she likes spicy foods and doesn't like mayo. I'm just saying.
Oh my God, we're gonna have to kick like Greg out or something.
Yes. Make sure that swag is not in the chat. Please make sure that swag is not in the chat.
I do want to highlight just a few people awesome that have donated very generously today. Bibbs, I was drunk when I talked to you at the draft. My apologies. In my defense, it was my birthday.
You're fine. You're awesome. I don't remember anything untoward happening. Thank you so much for saying so, but you're cool.
And happy birthday, Ben.
Yeah, a happy late birthday, I guess. Yes. Weston Ira says drinking isn't a legitimate argument, in my opinion. Oh,
I don't even disagree. I don't even disagree.
It's wild berries, though, so it is, very much.
I'm making the argument I think Josh would make.
It's not about what you're debating, but how you're debating.
That's very true. Oh, and guys, I do want to let you know you guys have just under 3 minutes remaining to go over to Twitter and let us know what you think. And it's gonna be a close one. It's gonna be a little intense. I'm not gonna lie. All right, Coy. Overall, what do you think of our competitors today?
I mean, there's a reason they're both undefeated to date.
Yes.
I got to watch the Conor McGregor versus Floyd Mayweather of Schmoebates. I got to experience these 2 titans of Schmoebate-acity. And
wait, which
Schmoebate-acity?
Who won the McGregor fight?
I don't know.
Floyd did because
okay.
He is the best defensive boxer of all time.
Okay, so she's Floyd.
I mean,
you're Floyd. You're
according to Twitter,
you're this way.
Minutes,
you're Floyd.
We'll see who Floyd was.
Okay.
2 minutes till Floyd calls. So yeah,
I just like being able to hang out with Coy again.
Yeah, look at us.
It's been
We're
too
like
long.
the Brady Bunch hanging out.
Yes.
Hey,
Yeah. So Bibbs, also, it's fun to be able to hang out with you as well. The last time that we were on screen together was the Chill to Action episode, where that was the first and only time that I had ever gone out of town and attempted to do Chill to Action in a hotel room. Completely failed, and it was such a bummer. Because the interview that that Bill and Paul did with you was so insightful, and you're such a wonderful human being. And
I don't know about that.
You speak so well, and I just love to listen to you talking anything. So this was a lot of fun to be able to have a debate with you and do this. And I know that we both know that this was all in fun, and we had a good time together. And I'm just so happy to be able to just hang out with you and Coy, because Coy is super nice, and I love to hear his banter, and he's so witty. And I'm just praising you because I'm a big fan of the Schmoedown, and I just want to be able to let y'all know that I appreciate you as a fan for sure, and as people in every single sort of way.
Okay, I'm actually starting to cry. So. Thank you for that. That's incredibly kind of you, and wow, that means a lot to me. Thank you so much. You guys, this whole community has been something I can really latch on to, and it's actually sucked how little I've been able to like play and be a part of it, because with everything going on right now, I don't, like we all have our support systems, but it's not the same. The Schmoedown has become like this whole community, and to lose so much of it all at once, we're all around, but it's not the same. And so it just means a lot to be able to do this and have fun with y'all. So whether I win or lose, but whether I win or lose, this has been a real blast, and just thank you for everything. And Danielle, you've been a really great competitor, and again, if you win, go get them. Go get them.
I'm excited for either one of you. We're going to be finding out. I'm just be waiting for Jake to pass over the numbers right now. Bibbs, we love you. Coy, we love you. You guys are pretty amazing. And overall, we need to ask the important questions over here. Trash Painted wants to know, where are the meerkats?
Okay, the cats are not allowed in the office because this is like where we keep the cat food and stuff. So they're actually elsewhere right now. But I do have Shere Khan.
Yeah.
Shere Khan.
I'll take that.
Sure. Okay. What is some of the best cats you've seen in a movie?
The best cats I've ever seen in any movie are in the movie Roar.
Of course it is.
Oh boy.
Have you seen Roar? Do you know what I'm talking about? Roar is one of the most scary movies I've ever seen in my entire life. It was Melanie Griffith and her mom, Tippi Hedren. Was it Tippi Hedren who was her mom?
Yeah, Tippi Hedren.
Yeah. Tippi Hedren is big into wildlife preservation, and she and her husband at the time had like a wild cat preserve. And they decided to make a movie set at that preserve where a bunch of the actors are just hanging out, and the cats, they're not in cages. They're walking around every single scene. They are not trained cats. These are giant lions and tigers, and they actually are just, and you can see them trying to bite the actors' necks in the middle of the scene. That's a kill move. It's one of the most unnerving things I've ever seen in my life. And then there are scenes where they're actually attacking people, and like they're actually clawing Melanie Griffith's face, and it's not fake.
Yeah.
She didn't have to have surgery. Like it was really, it's the most intense, scary movie I've ever seen, and it's not even technically a horror movie by some definitions. It's just the actual reality of the production was so unbelievably dangerous that you just can't believe what you're seeing. So those cats are rock stars. And I love those cats. And on the smaller cat level, you got to go Hocus Pocus.
Oh,
very similar. I was thinking Salem from Sabrina.
Yeah.
But I would say any cat voiced by Keanu Reeves is up there. So Keanu.
I love that movie so much. Keanu rules.
Also argue that,
love that.
Goose is probably my favorite part of Captain Marvel. So
yes, totally.
I have to say, my favorite cat in movies would probably have to be Gigi from Kiki's Delivery Service.
Oh,
that's sass. Just say that is one sassy cat, and I'm so here for it. Not to mention, so cute. I mean, come on. If I can talk to that cat, that means like I'm a witch, and that's like a whole thing, and I'm so happy. So make that happen. Come on, man. Superpowers. Okay, so guys, we have our winner. We have our stats. We have the votes. So ahead of time, thank you guys so much for let us know your opinions and go in and check out that page. All right. Okay, so whoopsie, I'm doing that. Take that off real quickly. And our winners are Starting with question number 1, which is, what is the best team title match in Schmoedown history? With 59.4% of the vote versus a 40.6%. The winner is Patriots versus Above the Line.
Oh!
So, meaning that's the Bibbs. Bibbs.
Okay,
The Bibbs one. Bibbs.
All right,
Bibbs
but it was pretty close. That's
the
that was
Bibbs.
a tough one.
The second one. Yes, second one.
That was a tough one.
Yes. Yes, so that was Bibbs. On to question number 2. What recent match could inspire the next big Schmoedown rivalry? With 62.3% of the vote against 73.7%. Merle versus Bateman, going over to Danielle.
Yeah. That was destiny.
And so we are going to our third and final question, which is
terrible, I hope.
which is, what Schmoedown personality would host the best 4th of July barbecue? And you're both wrong because it would actually be Coy. So just want to clarify that. Okay.
See, I told you Coy would find a way to win this.
Yes.
With 62.5% of the vote in favor of Josh McCouga.
Hey!
Winning! And your winner,
Hey!
it is William the Beast Bibbiani.
Oh,
It is our winner today, sitting
Hey,
at
wow,
4-0, undefeated. How you doing?
That's I'm okay. I'm a little surprised actually, but this is really nice. Thank you, everybody. Danielle, seriously, this was a hell of a match, and you're a really, really great debater, and thank you so much. I will try to defeat Ben Bateman in your honor.
Absolutely. Yes.
Absolutely.
I will be rooting for you.
To hear them, but off camera, we all know he's watching.
I'm not gonna lie. I just refuse to give him another belt. I just do not want to go through that process into that weirdo. You know what? Regardless,
Instead of a belt, we have suspenders.
Suspenders. Oh, you know what? I love me some suspenders.
Right.
Very Gregory Peck, and I'm so here for it. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and sit down for a quick moment with with Bibbs real fast. So Danielle will chat with you here in a hot second. But wait, I see something weird here.
Oh, no.
What?
Hey,
What are you
hi,
doing
Ben.
here?
I knew he was watching.
Was this planned? What are you doing
I
here?
get in wherever I want to get in, Alex, and I know Bibbs. We know each other well. We had a great time last December. Do you remember that, Bibbs?
I do remember. It was really, really fun. Thank you so much. You're welcome.
It was very good. Yeah, no,
Welcome.
thank you so much.
Yeah,
thank
you're
you
great.
so much.
It was all me.
Yeah,
it was all me. Your success
Absolutely.
was all me. If I hadn't lost to you, would you have been champion?
I don't know, Bibbs. I think as my name here says, it was inevitable. I think, and it still is inevitable. So,
Okay.
I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
You guys, I have to say, you both are both champions and, Schmoedown and everything, but those are completely different set of skills in order to win the Tournament of Champions. Okay. You both are currently sitting technically, both, I think, equal 4-0 at this point. So that's a little interesting, but just saying, if, you may feel like a champion, Bateman, because you're a champion over in Schmoedown and all that good stuff right now, but at least you feel like it. But at the same time, Bibbs, he's going to kick your ass.
That's quite possible.
That is incredibly possible, Bibbs. You have to do it.
Yeah,
Please,
no,
for the love of God.
it's entirely possible. Listen, Ben is one of the best competitors I've ever met. Not at the Schmoedown, just in general. He's got one of the best competitive minds I've ever seen. And the only thing I have to compete with him is knowledge and theatricality. Like, I have no strategy here. I literally just said wild berries and yielded my time. So
that is strategy.
It was a clever argument. I have
worked.
to tell you, that was a strong.
I'm actually surprised it worked. But it worked.
It was a strong argument, Bibbs, and also, anytime you want to talk about one of my matches as iconic, if anytime you want to use my name to get a win, go for it.
Thank you.
It was wonderful to watch. It was a lot of fun.
You're welcome.
Hope you had a good time.
I did.
Oh, Coy's back.
My phone overheated.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, okay, Coy, I don't know if you heard all that. I don't know how much you heard just now because I know you had to jump away, like you said, with your phone situation, but these competitors here, obviously both former champions within Schmoedown, but obviously you're a manager of Schmoedown itself. How are you going to prepare your competitor to debate Ben Bateman? Are you going to do anything? What are you gonna
The
do?
same way we've been doing all of our big matches, the matches that count. It's interesting because Bateman and I tend to dance around each other in these situations because the only time we were both, side by side, we definitely, if you've not seen the photos, I got a lot of respect for people who think like I do, and Mr. Bateman and I literally mirror one another in a lot of the same aspects. So it'll be fun to compete with someone who, we've not directly competed against, but have danced around in a lot of ways. And we'll prep just as importantly as the Schmoedown because the stakes couldn't be higher, and it's a great challenge.
Agreed. The stakes couldn't be higher. Bibbs, please. Okay. Then
What?
I don't. Oh, please kick his ass. Kick his ass.
Oh, well, I'll try. Can I do so politely? I would like to do so politely.
Come on.
Ben, if you present your ass to me in a formal fashion, I will gently brush it with my foot. But if, on the other hand, your foot should connect with my ass in turn, I will take so respectfully, and I will have a good day.
There'll be no presenting of anything other than Alex presenting me with a belt, Bibbs. And that's the only thing.
I think we agreed they would be suspenders.
Did we? Because I wasn't part of that conversation. And I'm going to win.
We just had this conversation right now. So
I would love to create some Schmoebates suspenders. I'm not going to lie. We have a belt being made in. Actually, that's actually currently being made. So I'm pretty excited to get that. Earlier. Well, we just got it confirmed just the other day. It's actually in the process of being made. But yes, so it's going to be pretty darn amazing. Now, overall, like I said, okay, Ben, you're going to be going up against Bibbs. Do you have any strategy at all going up against, the beast himself?
I'll do my preparation. I'll study where I have to study. Okay. I know Bibbs. I know Bibbs inside and out.
That's creepy.
That's
a creepy way to put that.
I've done my research. There is no part of you I don't know.
That's extremely creepy. That's a very unsettling thing to say. I've often suspected that you employ private detectives in your pursuit of greatness, and this kind of confirms it. He's nice, though, isn't he? Isn't he nice?
So nice.
I'm dressed up for this, and I appreciate that. Thank you, Ben.
We are getting.
I put on a jacket for you, Bibbs.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man. And listen, if I'm ever honored enough to go on Nerds and Suits, I swear we'll wear a proper suit.
Well, look, you are pretty good.
You are also a pretty great singer. If I do say so myself, you're pretty great. Okay, so just real quickly over to the chat. Rockin' Movies with Tyler, Team Traitor. Heck yes.
No, Team No Traitor.
Oh, come on, man. I thought you were cool. And then you had to correct it that way. Man, come on. Bateman and Harlow scored these glasses from the Gentleman's Swag package. I believe that's right. That's correct.
That is true. I will say this, Bibbs, and I don't know if you know this. You are the closest to ever uttering the single answer in Schmoedown that I want to give someday because you got to sing a line from Les Mis as an answer. One time in the match, they asked you, and you said bread, and I'm waiting for the day. They asked me the prisoner of Jean Valjean to win a match, and I can say 2, 4, 6, 1.
Now that you were requesting it, it's never going to happen, though. Right?
For a live match that ended up not happening, one of my opening ideas was I just wanted to go out there and sing Stars.
Yes.
Which would have been amazing. It's actually one of my back pocket songs. Like, it's just right at my range, so it would have been amazing.
Yes. I would love to hear it. Absolutely. Real quick, we are getting, more 24601. Absolutely. And over, Parodies is really quick to say, well, Bibbs is a horror fan, so it's not really creepy for him.
You think that, but no, it is actually still really, really creepy when Ben does it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Also, okay, overall, the great conversation with Bibbiani, book it now. So a lot of conversation for both. Absolutely. Okay, so overall, guys, thank you so much. Ben, you just leave, my dude. You shouldn't be here. Like, why are you here? Just get out.
He's here because he's wonderful.
Ew, he's
a nice man.
He's a traitor. He's a traitor, bitch.
He's a former champion, and he deserves our respect.
Oh, slip. He just slipped off the screen. Whoops. Weird how that happens, Anyway, okay. So real quickly. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and bring him back for a hot second. I'm going to go ahead and schedule a chat with you guys, and we'll go ahead and get that scheduled and see what we can do to go ahead and get solidified this match. I just want to get you guys, everyone in the chat, just to update you. This is our current one so far. This is where we're sitting at. Oh, let me just go ahead and remove that banner real quick. So we are currently sitting with, this is going to be our final championship match. So it started with 8 competitors, and now we have down to 2.
601.
Oh, yeah, I got 2 for 601. Thank you. So we're going to be doing this. This is going to be the final one. That we're going to be finalizing the Tournament of Champions through this, and it's official. Someone is going to be walking away with a belt overall. But thank you guys so much. Bibbiani, love you, dude. Can't wait to have you back on again for winning and giving you that belt. I can't wait to see that actually happen. And Ben, you're okay, I guess. You know, cool. Yeah, you're okay.
He's nice.
He's okay. He's okay.
Like
let's not push it. Let's not push it. And Coy, light of my life. I mean, look at that hair. You're literally glowing. Literally glowing. All right. I'm going to go ahead and take you guys off the screen. I'm going to be bringing on Danielle on real quickly. Thank you guys so much.
Bye.
Bye.
And real quickly, Danielle. Oh my gosh, you did amazing today. How are you feeling?
I feel pretty good. That was fun. I knew that it was going to be a tough competition going in there. I mean, it's Bibbiani. We've all seen what he can do and everything. So, and I saw his answers, so I knew that he was going to come in there with some heat. And I knew that I just had to strategize and use my arguments in a way that I could maneuver around his. Because how do you answer against Josh McCougar? How do you answer against the Patriots losing their belts and stuff like that? So you got to figure out the strategy of your responses to that. And I've had a great time doing Schmoebates. I'm so sorry that my run has ended at this point. I really wanted to take on Ben Bateman and just to get back at that traitor over there, but I believe in Bibbiani, and I think he's going to do well against Ben, and it's going to be a really fun match to see. So I'm excited that I get to hang out and watch Schmoebates from the sides right now.
Absolutely.
I got to say, I have a 9 o'clock meeting, so I had to tag out. But before I left, I had to say to Danielle how incredible that was to witness. I didn't want to leave without commending you on that battle. There's a reason Bibbs was my first draft pick, so I knew the champion he was, but I didn't know your work. So excellent job. That was an astounding thing to watch. You should wear that very, very proudly. Semifinal. That was awesome. So before I tagged out, I just wanted to commend. That was awesome.
Thank you so much, Coy.
Thank you so much, Coy, and we'll talk to you soon. Have a great rest of your night.
I'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.
Okay. And I'm just going to go ahead and take you off the screen for a hot minute. And, okay, that's just me for now. Okay, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. And checking out, we're doing Schmoebates, man. It's our championship match coming up pretty soon. Thank you so much for coming on. And to everyone involved, I'm so supremely grateful. This show is taking off, and I'm so grateful for everyone that's not only involved, but also everyone in the chat. Thank you so much for being so amazing. And also voting, at the consistency and the level that you are. It's fantastic. I love it. Okay, so we are going to be going ahead and scheduling a match between Bibbs and Bateman here pretty soon, so definitely stay tuned, and we're going to see who's going to walk away with the belt. Definitely like and subscribe to this video, and also we're in audio form everywhere podcasts are found, like on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and all that good stuff, so definitely give us a follow and like over there, and we would really, really appreciate it. But at the end of the day,